I just got off a communications training with a client, and whilst we covered a lot in the 2 hours we had together, there was one theme I noticed that came up throughout the time that we spent together, and that was pausing, or what I like to call the power of the pause. So let me share with you my journey of learning how to pause, how I use it today, and how you can use it as well. So what was I doing before? Basically, I was not pausing at all. In fact, I was rambling. Every time I would talk, I would just be like a non-stop stream of consciousness. Now, obviously, why was I doing this? I was nervous. I wasn't confident. I felt that if I shared all the information, I would come across intelligent and smart and know what I'm doing. But how wrong was I? It wasn't until someone pointed it out to me that I understood the impact of the rambling. Because when I just keep talking without pausing, without taking a break, well, first of all, I lose my breath. And the person watching me or listening to me is like, okay, when is she going to take a breath? And then because we're so distracted by that, and then I lose my train of thought. The person listening to me loses their train of thought. They can't follow the point that I'm trying to make. They cannot digest one thought from the next one. We completely lose the point. And at the end of the conversation, we're both lost. Then we ask ourselves, okay, why are we here? What is the purpose of this conversation? And we've just lost a whole bunch of time. So yeah, not pausing cost me a lot in my career. So how do I use it today? I think it's a good way to demonstrate it is what not to do, and then how I would actually use it today. And I'm going to demonstrate that by using the example of how to make a cup of tea, which is inspired by the training that I did this morning. So how do you make a cup of tea? You boil the water, you put the tea bag in the cup, you add the water to the cup, and then you add the milk, and then you add the sugar, you stir it, you take the tea bag out, and then you're done. Serve the tea. Whew, okay, now I can breathe. That was hard to do because obviously I don't talk like that anymore. But it was robotic. There was no flavor to it. I was like, oh wow, when is she going to stop talking? So this is how I would share the story of how to make a cup of tea today. So before I tell you how to make the cup of tea, I wanted to share that is perhaps one of the best drinks in the world. There's nothing like a good cup of tea at any time of the day. And for me, it holds even more special memories because it is the drink that I used to enjoy with my grandmother. I have fond memories of spending time with her by the window at her home, or bringing her a cup of tea in the morning and to have tea at her bedside. And I would always make that cup of tea when I was staying with her. And so how would I do it? First of all, I would have everything ready and prepared the night before. We'd always heat the water on a stove, in a pan, like a good Swiss person. My grandmother always liked to have her cup preheated. So as soon as the water boiled, first I'd add like half the cup just to heat up the cup so that the drink stays hotter longer for her. Once the cup is warmed, I throw out the old water, then I add the tea bag, then I add fresh water, and then I add the milk. I always added a pot of sugar on the side for her, so for her to sweeten how she wanted the tea. I take my tea without sugar because I believe I'm sweet enough already. And yeah, we would just enjoy the tea together. Sometimes we would have a conversation. Sometimes we would just sit there in silence and be present with each other, watch the nature. And for me, this is what a cup of tea means to me. So I hope you can see the difference in the stories. I mean, there's so many differences in both the stories. Obviously, one was deliberately exaggeratedly bad. But what I want you to also notice is by pausing, by allowing not only for my audience to digest what I was saying, I also had time to reflect. In that moment while I was sharing, I could visualize myself being in my grandmother's place, sitting by her bedside, sitting by the window, being in the kitchen, making that cup of tea. It allowed my brain to recollect those memories that I could then share with you. Pausing completely changes the way that you communicate. And I definitely was not nervous the second time around. The first time around, I could feel that nervousness. Pausing allows you to calm down as well, and it allows the people around you to be calm with you. That energy permeates. And by adding all that storytelling, well, that's a way to connect with your audience and build a relationship as well. Another thing pausing is really great at doing is building tension. Now, I watched this video a while back, and this guy walks onto stage. He's about to deliver a keynote. Hundreds of people in front of him. He walks on very confident, good posture, slight smile on his face, and he starts looking around the room, but he's not saying anything. People have this look on their face. They're like, when is he going to start talking? People put their phone down to look up. It's like, when is he going to start talking? And for quite a few, it felt like minutes, but it was actually only seconds. Within that time, he was able to capture and hold their attention. So then by the time he actually started talking, he had built the tension, and he had their complete undivided focus on him. That's brilliant. I actually need to try that one day. So how are you using pausing in your communication? I'm Noreen, a community builder, gender balance champion, and communications advocate, and I'm here to help you harness the talent of your voice.